So now I have made a decision. I am going to jump ship and I am going to jump on a train. What's next? Let's find out. Good to see you, brother. All good? Awesome. So have you ever wondered what happens if you decide to leave the ship and never come back? Let's say, for example, right now, I'm actually leaving the ship. I am going outside in port in this country, this little city called Skagway, where there's nothing. But suppose there is something over there. Well, there is something, but not much. But suppose, those stairs. But suppose there is something over there and I decide to go out there and never come back to the ship. Have you ever wondered what actually happens? What are the consequences for you? What are the consequences for your family? What are the consequences for the cruise ship? Let's find out. Let's go talk about it outside. All right, so I'm gonna get onto this lovely boat, which we call the tender. All right, so it's a little boat that takes us from the big boat to go ashore. Basically, that's a tender port. Shouldn't be complicated. All right, so here I am. I am finally outside of the ship. Now, I'm finally outside of the ship. Now, I needed to decide whether I go back to the ship from here or do I jump ship? Well, I don't know, because honestly, there is nothing out here unless you want to be eaten by one of these things right over here. You could just stay over here. But let's say, for example, there was something to do, or there was some kind of a place that I think would give me a job or give me opportunities. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, we get to meet some of our guests as well outside. Okay, so then what happens? What happens if I decide to stay here? At the end of this video, maybe I'm gonna decide whether I stay here or I go back on ship. What do you think I should do? Write in the comments below. But before we get started, let me tell you the history of this little town called Skagway. Long ago, in 1897, people heard that gold had been found near the Klondike River. Thousands rushed to Skagway hoping to become rich, but the gold was not actually in Skagway. The town was the starting point of a long and difficult journey. Gold seekers climbed steep, snowy trails carrying food, tools, and heavy supplies. Many found no gold, but Skagway quickly grew into a busy town. Today, Skagway has a different kind of attraction. Tourist cruise ships bringing visitors from around the world to explore its colorful history. Ride the scenic white pass train, enjoy the beautiful mountains and waterfalls, and taste the great local food. Skagway may no longer be chasing gold, but its history, scenery, and welcoming spirit continues to make the town shine. And I will say that I've never seen people paying so much attention to a flag being raised down. So good job, America. Hey everybody, welcome to Skagway. Welcome to Skagway. But first, let's talk about why people jump ship in the first place. There is a reason. So most people don't come to the ship actually planning to jump ship. Most people plan to spend their contract and go home. But some people come with every intention to jump ship and make life difficult for most people. So let's talk about the reasons why people think they must or should jump ship, or if I should jump ship today. Yes, should I jump ship today? Let's look at the reasons first, and then I will decide. I need to clear my head first. Reason number one, by the way, that's a beautiful train. Now, you wouldn't jump ship and want to stay in a country because the country is beautiful. That would be lame. Or maybe they have a beautiful train. That would be lame. However, reason number one would be people, while you work on board and you meet the hardships of working on board, you actually think that it is actually better to work on land, and you think there are better opportunities working on land. So that's reason number one. Okay, I'm doing the wrong thing here. That's not my car. Ciao. Now, I'm not saying that there will not be opportunities. There could be opportunities. Oh, by the way, behind me is the Skagway crab legs shack or crab, I don't know. Guys, if you eat crabs, this is the place. Okay, moving on to the next one. Another reason is that they may have family in that particular place, which they decide to jump ship. Okay, so people actually do that. If I have a friend in Canada or if I have a friend in America, I can actually, decide to jump ship. Now, I will make it clear that that is not a good thing, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Salty siren eats and tape house. Okay, so reason number 3. So the train is leaving. Reason number 4, it may be just a simple desire to change nationalities, and it may be also a reason that they think that jobs on land they pay. It may be also a reason that they think that jobs on land they pay a little bit better, okay? Or it's just sometimes they just feel like they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. Now, if you don't have anything to lose, what about everybody else? Let's talk about the consequences of jumping ship. So now I have made a decision. I am going to jump ship and I am going to jump on a train. What's next? Let's find out. So now you are on the train. Congratulations, my friend. You are selfish and you don't care about anybody else. So this is what happens to the ship. The ship will pay $25,000 for every person that jumps ship, that leaves the ships and never return legally. $25,000. $25,000 per person. And last year alone, 25 people from a certain nationality, which I will not mention, jumped ship. That means the ship paid $650,000. That is 10 million rands just because you want to live in Canada. Seriously. Well, it seems like today I've experienced the biggest modes of transport. The train that just went by, the ships. What's next?
Well, the reality is you have basically thrown yourself under the train.
And literally under the train.
How is that so? Well, you're gonna live the life of being on a run. And I've lived that life in South Africa. Honestly, it's not a good life. You're always looking over your shoulder, whether to see if the police is going to be following you, or you're just going to be worried about the locals, and you're just gonna be scared. It's not a very comfortable life, but yes, some people have nothing to lose and they're okay with that. But what about your family, the people that you leave behind? Sometimes if you go to a certain country and you go there, you want to try to seek asylum, it may take you 10, 15, 20 years to be able to go back to the country of your origin. Do you really want to risk that? I don't know. But yes, some people have nothing to lose. But eventually it will catch up with you. And most people that actually think that they're going to have a better life, trust me, you are not going to get any richer than you would be if you were on a ship. Because obviously, honestly, on the ship, the food is free on the ship, accommodation is free. You just need to be able to manage your bills and of course, plan your things strategically so you can have a better life. That's my opinion. I would never want to leave my own country going to a foreign land to search for riches and never get back. I'd always want to go back to my country whenever I want to go.
So here we go. Decisions. What am I going to do? Am I going to jump ship and stay right here in America? Or I am going to run back to the ship as if my life depends on it? Because I'll tell you what, my life does depend on it. Literally. Subscribe.